Thank you so much, Rajib. So thank you so much for starting this very engaging morning, afternoon, and evening session. Yeah, so from now on, I will take this opportunity to actually introduce our next speaker, Anirudh Thorbole, a young professional with a keen interest in sustainability reporting, Scope 1, 2, and 3, circular economy, carbon counting, GHG reporting, and resource efficiency in plastic waste management, sector implementing various tools to manage sustainable development, sectors where he is willing to work with your organizations for the fields related to the ESG reporting, consulting, and other opportunities can be related to sustainability reporting, research studies, stakeholder management, and preparing of documentations. So today he will actually touch on this very interesting topic on formalizing the plastic recycling industry in order to maintain the circularity of the plastic materials and even increasing the resource efficiency. Hand over to you, our plastic engineer, Anirudh Thorbole. Welcome.
First of all, I would like to say thanks for this great opportunity for Mr. Santosh and GCPIT and having me here, everyone. Today I will be discussing about formalizing recycling, plastic recycling sector to attain the sustainable development goals and increase the resource efficiency. So yeah, so we all are going through a lot of amount of information from social media and all over LinkedIn that ocean plastic is increasing and the plastic is been like dumped all across the landscapes and things like that. So how we can increase the recycling and we can formalize this recycling sector and increase the sustainable development goals. So these are some of the goals which we can attain by formalizing the plastic recycling sector. So it's what I want to say by formalizing is there is a plastic recycling sector in place, but it is not efficiently managed, not sustainably managed. So to manage it sustainably, we need to have some sort of standard operating procedure, or we should have some auditing, some reportings, and things like that. So there are many companies who are doing this, but there is not a lot of a lot of recyclers are not aware of this, and they just do it for their just to earn a bit of money at the end of the day. So I will start with giving you an overall. So overall, there is a whole huge market of waste management. From waste management, there are two sectors: post-industrial waste and post-consumer waste. From that, we have various waste management sectors. I have mentioned it here on the left side. So from that, if we narrow down, we are focusing on the plastic recycled granules, or you can say recycling of plastic. So globally, the market has reached up to the market has reached up to like US dollar 439 billion, and it's with the growth rate of 3.7%. So by the end of this decade, we can imagine like the quantum of this plastic waste generation would reach around 910.81 billion. So why I am mentioning all this, and specifically to India, because the Asia Pacific region dominates the market sector of plastic recycling with 44.87%. And there are various things I would like to discuss openly, like plastic waste has been exported by the Western countries, and this uh, this plastic waste has been imported in Asian countries like Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, India, and there are still a lot of restrictions going on, but this practice is still going continuously. The issue is not the Asian countries are not having that big amount of like recycling infrastructure or capacity to handle this amount of waste. So what plastic recycling will impact on what kind of sectors it will impact if we if we sustainably manage to do this plastic recycling. So firstly, the increasing crude oils and carbon emission, because of plastic has been a petrochemical product from years. Like it's just a byproduct, and we use it from the crude oil industry. So as the crude oil industry's price is getting up day by day, we can see the polymer raising price also getting up. So like the recycled plastic is comparatively cheaper, and we can like there are tools in place such as EPR and things kept mandatory by government to take some amount of authority to manage this circularity. uh, we everywhere we can see like there is abundance of plastic waste. I don't know much about other countries, to be very honest, but I have seen it in Thailand, in Japan, in India. Like there is quantum amount of plastic waste being generated, and unless it is not been reused or recycled properly, it's been getting ended up either burnt or either in the landscape. So here there is a requirement, like there is a need for this sector to be supported by government. And I have mentioned some of the few points that I have to go with. Like I have done a lot of research in this field. So I have done my personal surveys, I have done my like research thesis on recycling industry in India and Asian countries. So I have some amount of data which I can present it here, but I will not make it too like too bombarding on you, like a lot of amount of data. So just we'll keep it some a bit of little like data perspective as well as understanding. So there is high demand for the plastic products. So we can understand why we need polymers in daily life. From having brush, we use it for our switches and things like that. Even the desk I'm sitting, it's made up of plastic. So yeah. What is the current business model of plastic? So what I have mentioned here is just in India, but in most of the countries, this practice is very similar. Like Indonesia, I'm very much specific to Asian countries because I have a bit amount of data about it, but I don't know much more about European and Western countries. So yeah, the business model consists of three stages, like collection, segregation, sorting, and then recycling. So this collection and segregation sorting has been done by informal sector. Most of them, they say it is formalized, like they are paying the taxes and things like that. But when I did my personal surveys, most amount of people were doing it informally, like uh, not many environmental concerns were taken care of and things like that. So what instruments? So here I have mentioned specific example to India. Like recently when this plastic scrap market was like uh, taken control by GST, like paying the taxes for this recycling industry. In 2007, suddenly the recycling rate went such down that at times people were willing to buy virgin plastic more than recycled plastic because of the amount of like taxation they have to pay over it. And once the government came to know about it, they started reducing the taxes and things like that. So what is here the key like key point, I can say, like key indicator where we can get into the market, like why recycling is important and things like that, and how we can make it into a sustainable thing. uh, I will show you how other companies, industries are playing with sustainability at the same time with plastic recycling. They are having this both unique combination, and they are really doing it very well. So, like as I mentioned, like there's a growth rate of 3.8% per year uh, all over globally, and if you see it's very specific to Asia, it is 5.8%. So, like anyone if interested in data, like I have a lot of amount of data, you can reach me out later on. So, yes, so how to formalize plastic recycling industry? So, according to the suggestions from government policymakers, from the industry, um, from the informal sectors like the rag pickers and things like that, waste workers, and I have collected this certain amount of data which which represents what is the necessity for recycling industry, plastic recycling industry, and how we can make it environmentally sustainable, like not deteriorating our environment. At the same time, we are able to recycle maximum amount of plastic waste entering in our waste stream. Like Indorama, I mentioned, like there are industries who are working very well. So Coca-Cola and Indorama is having a great partnership in Philippines, in Thailand, even in India. They are doing really great in terms of PET bottle recycling and managing the sustainable goal. There are some countries in Europe, like companies in Europe, they are focusing on recycling, standard recycling. There is Ravago. Ravago is all across the world, like in 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 African countries, in South Africa, even in Russia and other countries as well. So raw materials. This is an academic institution where they focus on like increasing the resource efficiency. Whatever amount of plastic waste we are having, we just circulate it in a way that we use it as a raw material. And these are the recommendations from my research. So like from policy making, we can reduce the taxes and we can include the informal sector. We can, if we are able to formalize this sector, then it's going to be really good industry to work upon in sustainable field. And there are various designing like R&D we can do with alternative packaging options, like collection, like buyback, and ongoing compaction trucks and adherence and things like that. So it's very much technical, and I just have, I guess, 2 to 3 minutes left. So yeah, this is digital portal. In India, they are trying to manage things digitally as countries, like as generations passing on, everyone wants to get digitalized. So there is an authentication. There are number of recyclers, brand owners, producers, importers. They are getting like registered, and from now the data will be recorded. And this is with help of CPCB, Control Pollution Board of India, and GIZ India. So these are some of the key indicators, policy instruments, how we can manage with the help of policies and with the help of public awareness tools. So if we are able to implement these things, it will be very easy to attend plastic recycling and waste management sector in a sustainable way. So these are some of the goals that I mentioned earlier. So industry, innovation, and infrastructure. As I mentioned, there is very lack of infrastructure in place to manage the input of the amount of plastic waste entering. So only 40%, I guess 9%. There is a data from Ellen MacArthur, like there is 9% of plastic being recycled across the globe. So we need infrastructure at place. Capacity building is required, and this comes under the Sustainable Development Goal number 9. 12, sustainable, like responsible consumption and production. If we are able to responsibly manage and circulate the plastic waste in a way, then we don't have to depend much upon raw materials coming from the crude oil. So like we can manage demand easily. Also climate action, like there are various researchers who can easily claim, like because of plastic pollution, the climate change is being impacted, like the climate change is increasing at a faster level. So one such example is also life below water, because if plastic is floating all across the ocean, uh, the marine ecosystem under the water don't get the sunlight and they are unable to breed and things like that. So the whole corals and things have been dead. There are very clear evidences all across the world, Indian Ocean, in even in Great Pacific Patch, we have seen a lot of researches. So life on land, of course, like if if we see piles of waste dumping all across, all across the city, so I guess there are very big examples in Indonesia as well. There was landslide of this plastic waste, and I guess 140 people died. So these are some of the examples that really uh, we should like be responsible, more accountable for this kind of incidents. And lastly, like partnership for these goals, to attain these goals. So collaborative efforts between the countries, like Japanese government is helping Asian countries to educate their people to work on this recycling sector and things like that. So yeah, we are going at the right track, and I guess we will attend the sustainable way to manage this waste. So this is how we like the waste isn't segregated at the informal sector and the formalized sector. I have collaged it all together. You can see the differences where it is sorted at a conveyor belt, and at the other end, informal sector, they are sorting it with manual hands and things like that, without any safety, without any environmental concerns. So thank you so much for your time and attention. Like, we need to be accountable again. I already mentioned it. So thank you so much. If anyone has some question, anyone wants to reach me out, you can reach me out through LinkedIn. And sorry for any like disturbance and all. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you so much, and thank you so much. I really think that we really need to do a bit more for plastic recycling, because like what he has mentioned earlier, I guess this is a part that we can develop over from 2023 onwards. Okay, so